will be going down for a few fixes. I would say just maybe a couple minutes at most. Okay, so the stream's not completely going down after Shatterhand. It will still be up. We'll have some music or something going on for it, but we will have to delay any games after Shatterhand just for a little bit while we take care of a few things.
We're ahead of schedule, and we haven't set up our right after Shatterhand anyway.
Oh yeah, so we are a little ahead of schedule, so everything's going to be great. Do not worry. We're just going to run a... Let's see. Do we have time for a quick commercial, or should we just go ahead? Are we about ready for the game? What's that? Okay, we're just gonna run a commercial real quick, and we'll see you guys in a minute. Yep, commercial's done. Welcome back to SGDQ2014, guys. We're gonna have 8 Eyes as run by Feasel here.
All right.
Yeah, we still got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ready to go? Okay. So I should explain just briefly what I'm doing in each of these levels. There's a certain order you have to do the levels in order to get the attack bonus against the bosses. So there's not really any leeway in what order I can do these. In each of the levels, basically the main challenge is the boss, and you want to, speedrun wise, just be able to like walk right up to him and just, you know, toe to toe and just trade blows with him. So it's really about managing your health and your item power throughout the levels, so by the time you get to the boss, you have the numerical advantage on him and you can just sit there and you know, take him out. But even that's very difficult. Even coming in with the right amount of health and item power, you could still get screwed. So I may end up dying at one of the bosses, we'll see. Fortunately, the levels are pretty short, so it's not too bad. But we'll see what happens. Okay, go.
So as Feasel mentioned, he has to pick this particular level to start with, which is Spain. The game doesn't give you any indication that you're going to be completely screwed if you pick any of the other levels. That's going to be a theme throughout here, so you'll notice that a lot of the levels, although they're very short, have staircases and pits and drops that he has to go through. Exploration is a big aspect for playing the game casually.
This game is probably the only NES game with a positive bird.
Yeah, this is a bird that's helpful. I used him a moment ago to take some damage and distract one of the enemies. Oh my gosh. All right, that's cool.
And what he just picked up was the white crystal, which is the most useful sub-weapon in the game. It'll stun the bosses. There's a couple of other sub-weapons. He uses the boomerang to do switch puzzles and collect things.
That's about it, yeah.
All the other sub-weapons are pretty much useless. They're attack items and never get involved in the run.
This game has all the same sub-weapons as Castlevania, plus a few extras.
Definitely not Castlevania, though.
Yeah, it's not inspired at all.
Yeah, definitely not a Castlevania ripoff.
Hey, lots of games have staircases that just
Yeah.
Castlevania, Castlevania 2, Castlevania 3.
8 Eyes.
Yeah, 8 Eyes.
This game also has another mechanic that's similar to Castlevania, which is quick falling off of ledges. Before the marathon, I actually thought you had to be doing attacks to do the quick fall or get hit by an enemy. Feasel showed me you can hit pretty much any button on the controller that's not being used. I thought he was doing some really awesome glitch, but...
Lost one.
Yep, that's a bird distract there.
Yep. And you'll notice that you use the white crystal to freeze the boss and get some extra hits in. Each of those crystal uses takes 2 full boxes of the item display, and it's a little bit tricky because it really is 2 full boxes. So you could be thinking that you've got all the energy that you need and be 1 pixel off. So Feasel knows exactly where the drops are going to be to know that he's going to have enough for the boss kills.
That skeleton waiter is the prize for this game, is it not? By the perler?
Yeah, you'll notice the
think it was
skeleton
one.
waiter at the end of each of the levels. So after you defeat the boss, you sit down and have tea with them.
Yeah.
'Cause it's civilized, you know, it's a civilized game.
Yes.
Yeah.
And indeed, it is a skeleton waiter perler that is available for the prize. $5
Awesome.
buy-in.
All right, that's boomerang's helpful for hitting some switches, which avoids having to use the bird for some of the puzzles, which is a bit slower. So that's why I use the boomerang. It's not helpful for fighting anything.
Whenever he uses the bird to collect something, the bird has to be back on his shoulder before he can go through a door. So that's one of the reasons why he wants to get alternative ways of hitting the switches. The boomerang also lets him collect items that are behind him. The boomerang does keep traveling past you, so he'll use that in a couple places as well.
There are several enemies in this game that are in various stages of dress.
Such as diapers.
Yes, such as diapers and more diapers.
All right, this boss is one of the worst ones, but we'll see. Okay, no
That
problem.
was good.
Very good. What Feasel's doing is getting him to commit to an attack direction so that he can get behind him and get lots of hits in.
And there's the waiter.
And suddenly the clown is red instead of green. I think he looks like a clown.
Do we have a moment that I could read a few donations?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, we got $10 from Stefan Kleiner. Hi guys, all I want to say is you're awesome. If you were here, I would. Oh, you're awesome. If you were here, I would give you all a schnitzel. Greetings from Germany. Okay.
So we'll be going to Germany in this game soon as well.
We got a $50 donation from Michael Stern. Keep up the good gaming, guys. We have a donation from Antaron Oadi. I apologize if I slaughtered your last name there. Hey runners and commentators, Antaron here. I love the way you're finishing games for charity. I'm hopeful for Doctors Without Borders, and I hope we will make great things together. Now distract me with the cute alpaca, please. From the French dude sending you baguettes. Niels Cool donated $35. Hey guys, great what you guys are doing. Loving the runs and just wanting to wish the runners some good luck and have fun.
How do the controls for the bird work exactly?
You can release the bird from your shoulder and recall it to your shoulder, and then you can make it dive. And other than that, you got to wait for the bird to hit the edge of the screen to turn around, and you can't adjust its vertical position, which is
Oh
why
yeah, yoga skeleton.
2 players is a little bit more flexibility, but it's honestly not all that useful in the speedrun.
Okay, we have a $20 donation from Tobias Meyer. It's great what you are doing, and I love to watch it. Keep it up. Greetings from Germany.
Right, a little bit of serious time for the boss here. Whoa, this is bad. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's close. Yeah, if you miss that thing, it's kind of tough to get them. That sucks.
Another tricky part about that is when he clicks that invincibility, if he's taking damage at the same time, it'll basically freeze him in place until the invincibility wears out. So you have to be really careful when the boomerang is going to hit back on that tile, that he's not being hit by the boss right then.
Do you keep any progress when you
Uh,
just the full level?
Just the full level again, unfortunately. That sucks, but yeah, I don't know. That happens sometimes. Hopefully that's the only death in this. Fingers crossed. Good music in this game, in my opinion.
Each level has 3 tracks to it, including the opening screen, which you would be surprised why there's 3 tracks.
Yeah, this is way more music than almost any Nintendo game I can think of.
Yeah, and I consider that the demon Ron Jeremy.
And that's Chain Whip Diaper Baby. So you'll see me jump into some of these enemies sometimes, and basically it's because for most of these enemies, what you really want to do is get through them in 1 hit rather than 2, and that's what makes all the difference health-wise. Yeah. Bad start to this level. I took a couple extra hits. The health is really tight in most of these levels, and there's just not a lot you can do about it.
And one thing you'll notice is that the bird and the
There we
player
go.
both have separate health bars. It is possible for the bird to die, and it doesn't affect the game anyway unless you actually need the bird for the switch puzzles. You'll get it back on the next level. The downside of that is if the bird collects a health power-up, it goes to the bird, not to you.
All right, much better patterns this time. I was getting awful patterns last time, and makes a huge difference health-wise. Go. So now the item drops are going to be, the cycle in the item drops is going to be a little bit off, so I'm going to have to really watch the item power and health. It's also one of the few NES games with crosses in it. Mostly Nintendo censored all the crosses in all of its games when it North Americanized them, but not this one for some reason. All right, doing way better this time. Oh, good. And a perfect boss
Slightly
fight.
different results. Yeah.
Yeah, the bosses are really tough to manipulate their patterns. You'll see later on a couple where he gets them corner trapped or in advantageous positions.
Yak-cack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if
Yeah.
they get away, they can be very challenging.
Yeah,
to
it's like a
corner
huge,
down.
like you saw how much health I had at the end of that, and just like a slight mistake, and you could, that could have all gone away. So they're really sensitive. Maybe. Oh, just barely made it in that door.
Some of the door timings are really tight, and they'll
Yeah,
close
particularly
just
this
before
level.
you're going to get it there.
This is one of the harder ones here, too. There we go.
All right, would this be a good time to go through a few donations?
Yeah, sure. Anytime that's not a boss is fine.
Okay. So we have a $7 donation from, and I apologize for slaughtering this name, Thij van Amerongen. Okay, again, I apologize. Says, hello again. I'm still enjoying these games. As always, great commentary to keep it interesting. Here's $5 for the reader to allocate after having to put up with my impossible name. Keep it up. Nick Carper donates $5. He says, 8 Eyes should have been called Tea Drinking Simulator 2014. Go Feasel. Then we have a $40 donation from Edouard St. Georges saying, SGDQ is back, but now I have a job. Good for me, but a shame I cannot follow your feats all day as I used to. Keep up the great entertainment. Glad Mr. MV is finally participating in a GDQ event.
All right.
So what he picked up there was double damage, and you'll just see the boss health meter drain away.
Whew. And it's got a pretty short window there. It runs out basically immediately after I killed him. That's when it ran out. So if you miss any of those hits, then you're kind of in trouble.
Dio Kaglik.
All right, here we get into the maze levels. This is one of the two mazy levels. So you'll notice that going down and then coming back up, it's a different level now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
good luck finding your way through here without making maps and
Yeah.
wasting hours. But once you know where to go, this is a really fast level. This is basically the fastest level. That music.
Whitey Whitey Knifey guy?
That sounds right.
There's some jerk birds.
Oh, he's carrying a spear. I don't know how to make an I sound out of a spear.
Whew, pretty good.
Yeah. That guy's got a couple different axe patterns, and they're just totally random which one you'll get.
Yeah, fortunately with the invincibility, I get a little bit of leeway there because I can get about 11 hits on him before I have to start taking damage.
How guy
Close. And now we're in Germany, which is another maze level. There we go.
Yeah,
Good.
good job.
That jump.
That is
I
a
don't know.
really
It's
tough
not,
jump.
Yeah, it's not even like frame perfect or anything. It's not too bad a jump. They don't intend for you to go that way, but it's not too bad. But when you miss it, you lose a lot of damage getting back there again. A lot of health.
Yeah, there's basically alternate routes through here. If he had missed the jump, it's a couple more screens, and it's just damage boosting throughout all of them, so he'd have a lot less health when he gets to the boss.
Yeah, and this is probably the boss that's been giving me the most trouble, so we'll see what happens. Basically, if I mess up the approach on this boss, there's no chance of beating him.
We have a $20 donation from Dana Hinkle.
I'd wait a minute, though, please.
Oh, okay.
There we
Whew.
go.
All right. Yeah, okay. Serious time over. We're good now.
Okay. Dana Hinkle sent in $20 and says, first time being able to watch a GDQ event live, and I'm really enjoying it. Thanks to the runners and everyone behind the scenes who helps put on the event. Jacob Lash donates $5 and says, this is my first time catching a live SGDQ, and I had to donate while Feasel is playing some 8 Eyes. Feasel gets to pick where this donation goes.
Ooh, I'll have to think about that one.
Okay, Benjamin Tyrer donates $3 and says, thanks everyone for putting on a great show. I've been enjoying all the runs and appreciate the skill on display. Cheers from England. Dan Delorio donates $15.60, saying, I'd like to donate $1 for every game being played at SGDQ 156, but unfortunately I'm not that rich. Instead, here's 10 cents for every game being played at SGDQ. Keep it up, guys. Put this towards Flavio following you in Thousand Year Door.
It's one of the few Switch puzzles that's significantly sped up by having another player, but not a huge difference, I guess.
James Woodsworth donates $5 and says, thanks for doing such a good thing for a good charity. P.S. We'll donate another $10.
I was going to say if you missed that one.
Okay, P.S. We'll donate another $10 if at a random point in the next game, the guy in the purple Twitch jumper stands up and shouts, GG. I don't know where he's at now, so...
Good. That boss can sometimes be a pain, yeah. This one where I have the least advantage on the boss, health-wise, so it's kind of a tight margin of error, but I made it through with plenty of health, so that's good. All right,
Fabbed.
so this is the boss rush. Final level, you refight all the bosses again, but you get maximum item and health containers, and it refills, refills you after each boss.
But you don't have the attack bonus.
Right, so I have to do twice as much damage to these bosses, but given all those other factors, it's not too bad.
Those more powerful swords that was saying you were getting between
Yeah.
levels actually work.
Nope, not anymore.
And they're in the order you're supposed to fight them, right?
Yeah.
I don't know,
Yeah.
I guess.
Now, this was the boss that was bouncing around all over
Yeah.
the place before. Luckily, this refight has a little ledge that he's going to get trapped under.
Yeah. So these aren't too bad. You have the advantage over these guys, so you just trade blows and try not to waste any of your shots, and it usually works out. Get the bird. Yeah, so this is not actually where you're supposed to fight, because if you remember, this was the last thing that I fought before the refights.
Oh, I see.
This is one of the trickier ones. As long as he doesn't get away from me, should be all right. I'm gonna save one white crystal in case he does.
A lot of the bosses just like to run as fast as possible away from you if they get unstunned.
Ooh. That one makes me nervous. All right, this next one's kind of complicated because I'm going to use up all my crystals, pick up an item refill, and then use up all the rest of them. And the bird's positioning is very critical here. There you go, good. All right, good.
Now, I found out just yesterday that your item bar is like 16 per bar, and it's like you have 255 instead of 256.
Just slightly. So it looks like I can use another white crystal, but I'm like one point short of it.
And this guy can actually teleport around while stunned, but fortunately it doesn't count your stun timer down while that's happening.
All right. 2 more to go. Good axe pattern.
Not a good place to be stabbing him.
It's good for us, not for him.
Yeah, I don't think he's too.
It's a civilized game.
Yeah, it's a civilized game.
Not great, but good enough.
Go that way.
All right, this final boss here, it's not really serious time. This is, probably going to go okay.
The final boss is pretty much like all the other bosses. Time does not stop at the final boss. There's one more thing he needs to do afterwards.
What even is that? It looks like the dragon tamer from Ogre Battle games.
This is the title theme, slowed down.
They
Maybe
put a lot
the
of
title theme is this music sped up.
Oh, there you go. Think of
they
it.
put a lot of thought into the bosses of this game.
So you're meant to be searching for clues throughout all these levels, using the bird to hit every brick in every wall until you find the clues that give you basically like a logic puzzle that you have to solve to tell you the order to put these stones in. Fortunately, we have the internet. Go, bird, go. It's all you.
Get ready for time.
Getting up there. Hold on. And time.
Time.
That's pretty good. Yeah, that's a
with
pretty good
that.
time. Give him the death. Yeah, give him the deaths. No, you just have to do it again. You can try it as many times as you want. But
Just make you refight the final boss.
no, fortunately.
But you'll be sitting there for a long time if you don't know which order 8 crystals goes into.
Yes. So yeah, that was a pretty good run. I mean, I had those deaths in that third stage, but everything else went way
Your
better than
falconry
expected.
was amazing.
The falconry and
Falconry was
fencing.
amazing. Your logician skills were top notch.
Yeah.
Yep. Now at this point, there's actually 3 loops of this game, and the enemies get faster, like way, way faster. So it's good luck trying to beat it on the second loop, and third loop is just insane. So if you want a challenge, go for it.
Like the game's not challenging enough.
Yeah, exactly.
Magician.
Skill as a logician.
Only the strongest and wisest of magicians.
Oh, I should probably explain the story before I sign off here. So the reason it's called 8 Eyes is the 8 jewels that you pick up are called the Eyes. So the world was destroyed by 8 nuclear explosions, and at the center of each of those explosions was a jewel that has like magical powers for whatever reason. So then sometime years in the future, various kings of different countries acquired these jewels, and those things corrupted them and turned them into the evil monsters that you're fighting, which is why once you've taken the jewel back, you can sit down and have tea with them like civilized human beings, And so you're trying to collect all those jewels and prevent nuclear war from happening yet again. So there you go, magic and nuclear war intertwined, and jewelry.
So who's that?
I have no
that is the
idea.
Great
This is
King.
just a random picture. Anyway, thank you to all my stream viewers. Thank you to all my my subs, all my mods, and to everyone who helped get me here. Thank you very much. I'll see you later this week to do Rescue Rangers 2 co-op with Sinister One. Thanks for donating.
All right.
All right, that was 8 Eyes by Feasel. Next up, we have a Shatterhand race between Uranium Anchor and Clage. So while we're getting set up for that, I just want to, again, say this is Speed Demos Archive and Speedruns Live. Summer Games Done Quick 2014. And all donations are going towards Doctors Without Borders. We're going to run a quick commercial while we get things set up. We'll see you guys in a minute.